Red state politicians bravely defend Americans' rights to treat COVID with a horse dewormer. Republicans have apparently taken it upon themselves to ensure that Americans continue to receive dire medical advice now that Donald Trump no longer offers it directly from the White House podium. Welcome to the USA One podcast, the program where I and my two sidekicks sharing the interesting notes of the day from social network, radio, newspapers, and other publications that you simply don't have enough time to follow. I'm Juan Andres, also known as Senor USA, with my co-hosts Professor Pico and Dr. Mordidas. If you would like to view our programs rather than listen, you can find us on USA One Podcast on iHeartRadio, Podbeam, TuneIn, Alexa, and YouTube on your smartphone, computer, or any other internet-compatible device. In the spirit of the former president whose penchant for unproven and often dangerous COVID-19 treatments has included suggesting to Americans that they inject themselves with bleach or expose themselves to a very, very powerful light. From the very beginning, not to worry that I'll be gone in days. The pandemic will be gone and it'll never come back or something like that. No wonder there is a rather large list of nicknames for our former president. I have to look at it and see which one I like. The one I've seen a few times is something about an orange something. I don't know if it's his skin or his hair. I suppose they can come up with one because of the January 6th insurrection. He insists that it was a love fest. And for the misinformation on COVID from the very beginning, to which I crossed my fingers and I hope it didn't cause anyone any harm, and much less any deaths. I don't know what I'd do. Senator Ron Johnson has supplemented for months vaccine conspiracy theories and with enthusiasm shaking COVID-19 treatments. And Fox News conservatives are pushing ivermectin. And while poison control officials in Mississippi are warning the public about adverse reactions among residents who ingest the horse deworming medicine to treat COVID-19, some Republican legislators are suggesting that the treatment be normalized. Thank you for that report. More recently, Senator Johnson latched onto ivermectin and helped generate an FDA warning after people were hospitalized for taking it. The dewormer is approved for certain uses in humans, such as head lice, but it has repeatedly failed in clinical trials to help people infected with the coronavirus, according to a highly respected newspaper report. Now the Wisconsin senator is among Republican lawmakers who say the agency's opposition to ivermectin is not because it's not been shown to be effective in treating or preventing COVID-19, or because of the increase in calls or controls of intoxications of people who have taken it, but the result of political biases. By issuing a warning against the use of ivermectin, the FDA is doing much more than firing me. They're attacking me, said Senator Ron Johnson. I don't care which drug works. Try some of them, said the senator, who has no medical background or any experience in the medical field. Here is the FDA warning report. The Food and Drug Administration warned that ivermectin in large doses can cause side effects including skin rash, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, facial or limb swelling, neurological adverse events, sudden drop in blood pressure, severe skin rash potentially requiring hospitalization, and liver injury. Senator Johnson has regularly undermined proven medical treatments such as ventilators and the highly effective and safe vaccine that the FDA has already fully approved for those for the prevention of COVID-19 in those 16 years and older. He posted on a different podcast last week to claim that the FDA is licensing Pfizer's products while warning against horse medicine is all about the political goal of having mandates. He said a perceived threat to a personal freedom, which the senator has said he's opposed to unless there is some incredibly deadly disease. Thank you, Doctor. That was an important note. Here are the world-wide estimate deaths from COVID according to Forbes. An estimated 6.9 million people have died from COVID-19 globally since the pandemic started. How many more need to die before Senator Ron Johnson decides to personally call COVID a deadly disease? 6.9 million is not big enough. He needs a bigger number. 10 million? 20 million? 30 million? God only knows. If 6 isn't big. Well, anyway, Senator Ron Paul, who like Johnson has been suspended from social media platforms for spreading false information of COVID-19. Yes, folks, you heard it correctly. Both the senators have been suspended from social media for spreading false information about COVID-19. Also suggested that the FDA's resistance to ivermectin is not based on a lack of evidence or concerns about its potential toxicity, but a dislike to those who have promoted such experimental COVID-19 treatments. Hatred for Trump has upset these people so much that they are not willing to study it objectively, said Senator Rand Paul. Well, Senator, where's the proof that the scientific community or any of its members hate Donald Trump? Are you making these accusations off the seat of your pants? You don't have any witnesses? You can't show anything in writing that states that other than your opinion? That's irresponsible for a senator as far as I'm concerned. Senator Paul, I'm Dr. Mordinas, a frequent critic of science-backed preventative measures, told voters in City Hall last week. I don't know if it works, but I am keeping an open mind. The Kentucky legislator, who was an ophthalmologist before the policy, he's talking about what media outlets, when asked about ivermectin warnings. What does an ophthalmologist do? I'm a doctor, I know. An ophthalmologist diagnoses and treats all eye diseases. He performs eye surgery and prescribes and fits eyeglasses and contact lenses to correct vision problems. And what's a politician? A politician is a person active in party politics or a person holding or seeking an elected seat in government. Politicians propose support and create laws that govern the land and, by extension, is people. We might as well ask Jose, our gardener. He's from the Mexican highlands, and they have a practical and more useful home remedy than his people have used for hundreds of years, rather than listening to some of these politicians coming up with all these cockamamie things that they talk about. I'm a doctor. I know all about this. Wow, that's pretty serious, Doctor. At City Hall, he had told the audience, that is the senator, that a lack of research hampered by the political opinions of scientists deprived him of an answer. Someone like me who's in the middle, I can't tell them because they won't study ivermectin, he said. They will not study hydrochloroquine without the stain of his hatred for Donald Trump. His, not their hatred. So he's not talking about the community in whole. He says his hatred. I don't know who his is. He doesn't mention the name, but he's speaking of a specific individual. Look, I say, in my opinion, maybe they won't study it because these scientists are busy with studying medical solutions that save lives instead of making points with one's base just to get some votes, even though they must be misleading. And isn't that one of the reasons why they took you off social media, senators? Well, I'm Juan Andres, also known as Senor USA, with my co-host, Professor Pifco and Dr. Mordidas. Ooh, this is their first program. I think they did an outstanding job on reporting. We're on the USA One podcast, is the one you're listening to, and you're welcome to listen or view this program on the USA One podcast at either iHeartRadio, Podbeam, TuneIn, Alexa, and also on YouTube. Thanks for being with us, and I'll see you next time.